New cards, PogChamp. New cards, PogChamp. So, today we are talking mostly about the cards that were revealed in the spoiler stream for Reinforcement of the Army, the new set coming this next couple of weeks, including this lovely individual. In fact, let's see what that stream looked like real quick.
A quick break, and don't go away.
Good. Good. We have all been there. We have all been there when it comes to a fade transition into the wrong scene. Anyway, they have revealed the names for all of the monsters. Remember, we had the Priminerals. No, they weren't Priminerals. They were Primordials. Jesus Christ, they're minerals. We had the Azaminas, and I am very happy to report that we now have their real names. So, first up, number C32 is going to be called Shark Drake Levice. Levice! Then we've got Primite Imperial Dragon. Primite. Primite Lordly Lord. Load. Lordly Load. Ooh, I'm trying to take a Lordly Load. That's how... That's how, like, 1400s kings talked to, like, their concubines. They were like, oh yeah, sire me an heir, take this lordly load, boom. I've been at the Renaissance Festival too much. Azamina Debtors is interesting, sure. And then everything else on here is pretty normal, you know. Max Metal Morph. Okanix coming out, by the way. She's going to be in here. All right, let's do the new cards. We have Mimighouls. And to talk about Mimighouls, I am grabbing the boy. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So,
I can't believe it.
For those of you that don't remember, Peeps has been an individual afflicted with some sort of, like, Greek curse. Like, he's had to live his life like some sort of, like, human that is being published for its hubris for defying the will of the gods for the last couple of years, in that he's been super excited for every TCG archetype, and they've all had promise out of the first series, and then the second series cards come out, and they're ass and a half.
Yeah, it's rough. It's a rough life, I will say.
Until now.
Dude, when I was almost, like, I'm going to tell you this, and you have to understand that I'm being very serious, is that I was almost on the verge of tears, or I was on the verge of tears reading these cards. Like, finally, dude. Like,
okay, let's begin with the best one of them. I'm talking about Mimighoul Armor. So,
oh, yeah, okay. I got really worried when they showed this one.
So, Mimighoul Armor, level 1 Earth Warrior flip effect monster, 1500. If it's the main phase, applies effects in sequence. Mimighoul monsters can't be destroyed by battle and give it to your opponent. Then
Great.
During your main phase, you can specialist card from your hand to your opponent's field, or if your opponent controls a monster, special face up on your field once per turn. Cool. So this card is not going to be played.
That's okay. Hold on a second. It's bad.
Yeah.
But it is like an extra extender. Like, look, I'm not going to say that I'm trying to justify playing this card, but I can maybe see it if you just want, like, an extra guy. I don't think it's gonna happen.
If you squint your eyes, it looks almost playable.
Yeah, which is a real shame, because it's the coolest art out of all of them, and that sucks, but whatever.
Let's talk about Mimighoul Fairy. Now, if you guys were on Twitter yesterday, you probably saw House of Champs gooning over this. And I've got a lot of shit from people who are like, Joseph, you thought Ice Shade Acti was sexy. Why don't you want to fuck Mimighoul Fairy? Because she's a child. Is that what you want to hear? You want me to say it out loud? You all know why. All right. Level 1 Earth Fairy flip effect monster. Flip, if it is the main phase, please don't post his fucking post. I really don't need to see it in chat. This turn, you can activate the effects of monster special summoned from your hand. Give control of this card to your opponent. During your main phase, you can specialist card. Blah, 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 blah. So this one's a little harder to place.
No, it's not. This card's crazy.
I
And I'm
know
going to explain why.
it seems quite strong. I will completely admit. Already my mind is going to what's the card that beat the Mimighouls so effectively last format? Diabellstar. It beats that. It beats Poplar.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't beat Diabellstar. Diabellstar still outs the lock, but you don't give them a free.
It's not full
material.
combo.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it stops the effect, but you get the idea. The crazy thing about this card is that it's an extender. It's the best extender out of all of them because Slime and Armor. We'll get to Slime in a second, but Slime and Armor. I think they require your opponent to have stuff. So you have to open a critical mass of names, where Fairy is just if you open 2 Fairy, you just make an Xyz.
Yeah.
That's nuts,
Now listen,
this card's unreal.
Chat, I can see that you're all already deriding me, and I can actually smell the YouTube comments from here. Whoo-wee! You guys are stinking. Lambasting me for calling this a child. You have to understand, anyone under the age of 30 is a minor.
Correct. I agree.
I will say though, this
if you don't have a mortgage.
Yeah. If you don't have a mortgage, you ethically. Actually, you know what? If you aren't getting your bread up, I am not listening to your opinion. For justifiable reasons. I just don't want to talk to a minor.
This is the best Dude Cards PogChamp. Great, good stuff.
Next up is Mimighoul Slime. Why is no one gooning over this card? Right.
By the way, I called. This is the only one I called right, but I called that where they were making Mimighoul Slime.
I love Peeps is so smart. He's like, I knew they were gonna put a slime in our dungeon crawler archetype, and only I could have figured that out.
Only me, baby.
He's truly. This is why you got punished by the gods. Is for this hubris.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If it's the main phase, apply these effects in sequence. Your opponent can specially Mimighoul from their deck to their field. Give control of this card to your opponent, and then, as you said, this is an extender. This card seems real interesting.
It is an insanely good one of. I think this is a solid. I mean, you might play more of it, but I think this is the cards you want to start with are Archfiend, or not Archfiend. Sorry, no, Dragon. Dragon is the card you want to start with always.
Yeah, but
there is an argument to, I think I don't know. I could postulate on the deck building all day, but this definitely makes it in the deck. I don't know how many. I'm thinking it's a one of, but if somebody told me no, you play this at 3, I'd be yeah, I can understand it.
And notably, this has a bunch of really good synergies with Maker, right?
Yes. We'll get, when we look at all these, we'll get to Maker, but the thing to point out is that Maker is always full combo now, which it was not before.
Joshua Schmidt, thank you for the freaking big ass raid. I should have known that it was going to be a Joshua raid when Farfa came in, because he would never be watching this stream voluntarily. We're doing the new Mimighoul cards. We got Peeps in here. We've got a couple minutes before Doug shows up, so we're banging them out. I gotta ask though, how do you feel about Mimighoul Maker adding unnecessary slime scenes into your favorite?
What the fuck?
Oh man, CJ Alex beat me to it. Fuck. All right, whatever. All right. Next up, we have I think what we really all want to talk about, which is the Xyz.
They're so good.
I was shocked reading these Xyz. I was like, no. So historically, 1-star Xyz have been fucking terrible. There's I'm trying to think of the ones that have been historically good, like Recital Starling. Sorry, Recital Starling. Sylvan Princess Sprite is passable. There's the Lyrilisk one is a good Zeus pilot, but and Lil Fucko for similar reasons.
Right.
But when I used to think of a 1-star Xyz, it was Shimoji Soldier. So
yeah,
I'm very happy that these are good.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, this is a two level 1 monster, rank 1, 1300, 2000. Your non-Xyz Mimighoul monsters can attack directly while your opponent controls a face-down monster. If this card is Xyz summoned, you can add a Mimighoul card from your deck to your hand.
Oh,
Already pretty good.
oh my god.
You can detach one material from this card, target face-up cards up to the number of face-down monsters your opponent controls, destroy them, and if you do, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent for each card destroyed.
Oh, dude. This I can't believe this. This is the reason that Maker is a 1-card combo now. Because no matter what, you Maker, reveal Dragon Archfiend, and then no matter what gets picked off of it, you always get to Giant Mimighoul. Because you go, if they get Archfiend, you get Dragon, you summon Dragon, search dungeon, activate dungeon, add fairy, special fairy, make Giant. And if you give them Dragon, get Archfiend, you Archfiend summon, flip their Dragon, you gain control, and then you make Giant Mimighoul. So it's nuts, dude. It's so good.
Well, I should also note this is a time win con.
Hell yeah, baby!
If you give your opponent a card, you can Mimighoul, destroy the Mimighoul, and they take 1,000, and then you pass. It's
I don't know that. Wait a minute. That doesn't. You touch the target face-up cards on the field.
Yeah.
Wait.
No, yeah. It's a time win con. It's the time win con.
I thought it was opponent's field. This is on the field. Oh
Yeah.
my god, it got better. Oh my god.
Ugh.
Oh fuck.
All right.
Oh.
Okay, and now the pièce de résistance, Mimighoul Throne. Okay.
Oh my god.
This is a 0 attack, 1,000 defense. This is the mimic that has the master in it, I think. And
Yes.
it's just jumping up and down. This is what Peeps
I
looked
know.
like when he read this card.
Yep.
Okay. You can detach a material from this card, special summon a Mimighoul master from your hand or deck or graveyard.
Oh my god.
During the main phase, you
Poor
can target
Grave.
a Mimighoul master you control, equip it to this card as an equip spell that gives it 1,000 attack, then return cards from the field to the hand up to the number of materials this card had. So notably, doesn't target, quick effect.
Oh my god.
Oh, man.
Dude, this was one of the biggest problems that the deck had that I talked about in that video I made. Is that the deck didn't have a very consistent or reliable way to get to master. Master sucked to open. It was very clearly a one of, but there wasn't a cohesive Requiem style effect to just get it, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, now it doesn't just summon it from deck; it summons it from hand, deck, or grave. So if you open it, you can summon it. If you've already gone through it, you can summon it. I was like, oh my god.
So, I mean, first off, let me let you know, this card is crazy in Snake Eye.
Oh, for sure, of course.
I think there is an argument to play it. I'd have to retool some combos, but it's is this that much worse than playing Silhouette Rabbit in the extra and 1 Azuroon? You play Mimighoul
Yes,
Throne and
it's
1
much
Master.
worse. Yes, it's much worse.
it's not as good, no.
No.
Oh, also, chat is letting me know it takes 2 level 1 Mimighouls. No!
There you go. There you go.
The other one's
You got
generic. Boo. Maybe they were thinking about this. So this card's crazy. This is now you can disrupt your opponent in a meaningful way.
Yes. Yes. Oh, dude.
And then I guess the final one, Mimighoul Fuck. Target a face-down monster your opponent controls. Your opponent chooses one of the following effects, and you apply that effect. Change it to face-up attack or defense position, or send it to the graveyard that its owner draws 2 cards. What's this? What's this? Oh, this is the first time I'm hearing of this card. You're telling me now for the very first time. I've never seen this card
First
before.
time.
This card is fine.
So a lot of people are saying this card is bad, and it's not. Of course, it's not great because your opponent choosing is never good. But it is basically always draw 2, and you always go even or +1, right? That's so.
Yeah, it's just
I don't want to do the.
Do you really want to gas up a trade-in that requires setup?
Weird. It's weird because there are a lot of hands where you do search for a thing. Here's the thing that happens with Mimighoul sometimes is that giving them a face down guy sucks ass if you don't have dungeon, right? So there are certain situations where having a card that makes the face downs you give them profitable if you don't have dungeon kind of nice. Like you play 4 copies of dungeon, like 3 of it with terraforming. But that's the dragon can search it, but that's all you have. So if you have like 2 of this cuz you play one and then you can search another one later. So over the game it goes super plus in card advantage because it can search itself. I don't know. I'm 50-50 on this card. I'm going to try playing it because I think there are a lot of situations where it is usable, but I don't know if those are consistent enough to warrant playing it in the deck. So I don't know. I just got to figure it out. It's just one of those cards that's going to require testing. I don't think it's outright just bad, but I do think there are enough negatives as to where you could not justify not playing it at all.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the best card in the entire archetype, and that's Mimighoul
We
Charm.
do got to talk about this one,
dude. It's so funny that they revealed the worst one, and then people divine from the ether the second worst one. It's like none of the bangers at all.
Well, now you play Charm as a one-of. Like, I could see with the current first wave, Charm not making it in the deck at all. But now that you have so many consistency tools to get extra pieces, you definitely play this as a one-of. You side it out when going second, but when, if you win the roll and you open multiple pieces, like, you just add this on top of your board, and it's nuts. Like, this card actually does see play. It's the easiest throw it in as a one of now.
We'll
see. If you've opened your search targets, I 100% think
you're gonna say. But what about the hands where you have access to Maker and Dungeon and Room and Fork? You got to plan for those.
There are those hands. That does exist.
Okay.
If you open. They do now.
I see why the gods punish you. I understand why the gods punish you.
You have Dungeon and Giant, which both search Mimighoul cards, and Dragon, which searches a Mimighoul spell trap. So there's so much engine redundancy that having those in the deck is viable.
We'll see. I gotta ask, how are you making Giant Mimighoul and Mimighoul Throne? Are you playing any of the 1-star consistency tools? I know that Farfa was like in on Kinkabyo yesterday.
No.
Yeah, good enough anyway.
Yeah, the engine's just crazy. Like, Dungeon adds you an extender or starter if you don't need it. Maker is full combo on its own now. Plus, Maker can summon anything from hand. So if you open Master, you can summon it. Like, you just don't need. I don't think you need a supplementary engine. Now, you can, like, if you still want to play the Kashtira stuff, I think that's still good. But I think Pure is absolutely a possibility with these cards. They're just quite strong. I think they're very good.
All right. Well, thank you for hopping in and giving your opinion.
Yep, you're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
What a fucking moron. Finally, let's talk about Century Trinity. Give it up for year 3. Year 3 of the quarter century. Okay. Bye-bye.